Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, a man who obviously needs no introduction. He's an Emirati royal and the current ruler of Dubai. But beneath his public image lies a darker side that has been hidden for years. Two of his daughters have tried escaping him, while one of his wives has actually succeeded in fleeing Dubai. So what dark secrets could the Sheikh be hiding? Why does his own family fear him so much? Ever wondered what really happens behind palace doors? Today we're diving into the royal secrets they don't want you to know. Stay tuned to discover the truth behind the facade, the truth behind Sheikh Al Maktoum. Hey, I'm Kat, and welcome back to Rumor Has It. Apologies if I mispronounce any names. To get to the absolute depths of the Sheikh's darkest side, how about we start with his marriages, all 6 of them. Each of the Sheikh's 6 wives has her own separate home, and they're not discouraged from mingling with each other. In many ways, the expectations of them as royals means they have way more restricted lives than local UAE women, as you can probably tell with the Sheikha Latifah's story. She literally had no freedom to work, travel, or even have something as basic as relationships. Latifah's older sister's story is even more disturbing. Apparently, Princess Shamsa attempted to escape from her family's Surrey estate way back in 2000, when she was only 18 years old, after finding out that she wasn't allowed to attend her university. Unfortunately, 2 months later, she was found in Cambridgeshire and taken back to Dubai. It's now been well over 20 years since Shamsa was last seen in public. Then there's the story of Princess Haya, one that pretty much emphasizes just how much of a dictator the Sheikh is. Unlike Princess Latifah, whose mother is often considered as one of the Sheikh Mohammed's lower wives, Princess Haya has always enjoyed freedoms and privileges that several women in Dubai are denied. But to Princess Haya's benefit, she's a princess in her own right. She was born to the late King Hussein of Jordan, educated at the British private schools Badminton and Bryanston, studied politics, economics, and philosophy, and is a renowned Olympic equestrian. In fact, she also claims she's the only woman in Jordan licensed to drive heavy trucks. Her marriage to Sheikh Mohammed, which happened after the death of her father, was said to be a love match. Both of them bonded over their mutual interest in horses. So it came as a surprise when she decided to leave Dubai. No one still knows why she decided to do so, but it's believed that she knew about Latifah's story and that caused her to escape out of concerns for her own children and herself. In June 2019, the world found out that Princess Haya had fled Dubai along with both her children, a son and daughter, and made her way to Germany in search of political asylum. A subsequent poem composed by the Sheikh himself, an occasional couplet writer, was then posted to Instagram alluding to betrayal in love. Just a year after, a 34-page fact-finding ruling by the United Kingdom High Court Family Division discovered that Princess Haya had been having an affair with her bodyguard. She, in fact, paid up to $9 million to cover it all up. Haya moved to the UK from Germany, filed for sole custody of their children, a forced marriage protection order, and a non-molestation order at the High Court of Justice in London in 2019. Some months later, a UK family court ruled that, based on probabilities, Sheikh Mohammed may have committed the crime of taunting Haya after her affair with her bodyguard became known. The court stated that the Sheikh subjected Haya to a campaign of intimidation, reportedly including guns placed on her pillow. The findings were eventually published in March of 2021. In October of the same year, the High Court decided that Mohammed's agents used the Israeli Pegasus spyware to get into the phones of Princess Haya, her solicitors, 2 members of her security team, and a personal assistant in the summer of 2020. More investigative reporting into the Pegasus spyware found that Princess Latifah's name was also added to a list of names that were possible targets of the spyware just days before she was arrested by commandos of an unknown country off the coast of India while she attempted to flee Dubai. The court also ruled that the agents acted with the implied authority even though he denied any knowledge of the hacking. The judgment referred to this hacking as serial breaches of the UK's domestic criminal law in violation of the ECHR rights and fundamental common law, interference with the process of this court and the mother's access to justice, and finally, abuse of power by a head of state. In December 2021, Haya was finally granted full custody of their children as well as alimony and support in the amount of $720 million. The Washington Post even reported that, in justifying the amounts, Justice Moore cited the need to preserve the truly opulent and unprecedented standard of living enjoyed by these parties. In the following year, the court ordered that there should be no direct contact between the Seha and his children, and no input by him into how they lived their lives. Even with all that was held against the Seha, he still avoided appearing in court. He did, however, give certain assurances and waived his international law right to sovereign immunity insofar as proceedings before the family court were concerned. Latif and Haya's incredible story of bravery inspired a former Dubai princess, Randa Al-Banna, another woman once married to the Seha, to speak out. She married the Dubai ruler way back in 1972, and they even had a daughter together. But just years after their marriage, she left him. The consequences of this divorce? Never getting to see her daughter ever again. Shamsa, Latifa, Haya, Randa, and these are just the people we know of. To understand Sheikh Mohammed's power, his government is, in fact, described as autocratic, as internal dissent is forbidden, and there are no democratic institutions. Scholars even characterize the UAE as authoritarian. According to several human rights organizations, there are systemic human rights violations, including the forced disappearance and torture of government critics. And just to make matters worse, there's a faint line between the assets of the Al Maktoum ruling family and those of the state of Dubai. In the same year of his rise to becoming Dubai's absolute monarch, he issued a law to establish the Dubai Establishment for Women Development, renamed by law just 3 years after as the Dubai Women's Establishment. He also established the UAE Gender Balance Council in 2015, and his seemingly good endeavors obviously didn't end there. On the 19th of October 2020, Mohammed led the UAE Council of Ministers meeting that actually confirmed a peace agreement with Israel, legalizing diplomatic relationships between both nations. The council, again led by Mohammed, approved the decision to found an Emirati embassy in Tel Aviv in January 2021, and Mohammed swore in the very first Emirati ambassador to Israel only a month later. And all of these still don't scratch the surface of the Sheikh Mohammed's supposed philanthropic endeavors. This is the side the world is all too eager to show you, the side of him that paints him as a hero. However, behind his phony public image as a self-proclaimed progressive ruler of a forward-thinking nation lies a much darker side. Campaign group Human Rights Watch once called the UAE hypocritical, claiming that anyone who attempts to paint the government as tolerant is laughable. In recent years, there have been a staggering number of prominent cases of people, including foreigners, being imprisoned and badly treated at the hands of the nation's security services. That, by the way, the country's laws are also some of the strictest on the planet. People can literally be detained for free speech-related offenses. There's also the unending oppression of women in the UAE. The Emiratis enforces the law of male guardianship, where women can only effectively work with permission from their husbands, must have a lawful reason if they refuse to have intercourse with their husbands, and must grant full custody of their kids to their husband if she intends to divorce him and marry again. Then there's also the many cases of rape victims, often being ostracized for going public, and the scary thing is you're not even safe from this obvious oppression of women's rights if you're a member of the royal family itself. It affects the female members of the royal family just as much, or probably even more, which is obviously the simplest answer as to why Sheikh Mohammed's own daughters and wives fear him. Yet the world tries so desperately to cover it up. Most of the information the world knows about the Sheikh has been made up by his own hands. 3 different memoirs, a guidebook back in 2017 on cultivating happiness and positivity, and even extensive collections of poetry. But that is far from who the Sheikh is. These are all similar stories of how much women have endured at the hands of the Sheikh Al Maktoum. How many more till the world finally speaks out? How many more until we look beyond the glitz and glamour of Dubai? These are the darker glimpses of the Sheikh, the truth behind the Sheikh Al Maktoum. But hey, that's all from us. Now it's your turn. What do you believe? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. We love reading your thoughts, and remember to subscribe for the latest on the gossip, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.